welcome back to what might very easily be the last episode of the Bloody Dragons. Now, this is a journey that we set out upon trying to qualify with Wales for some major tournament, and we did for the biggest one of them all, the World Cup. And we're in Germany right now in this make-believe world of this alternate reality, alternate timeline in the footballing world where we qualified for the 2006 World Cup, and it's the 19th of June. And having won the last match, the second group match, means that we still have very much a chance of progressing. And in the last few episodes, I've been talking a bit about Uruguay and looking at them and being a bit in awe because they have some very, very good attacking players. But I've spent a little bit of time between these episodes loading up the game and just sitting and looking at their games and so on. And well, the first thing when we look at their team that we can be delighted about is, there's two suspensions. Because in the last match against France, this Melano guy received 2 yellow cards, and in the case of Paulo Montero, easily their best defender, actually one of the best defenders, in the game. So even though he's 34, I'm really glad that they don't get to use those two, and that's 2 defenders out of 4 of their first choices in the defensive line. So what's left? Well, they've got a defender right and a defender left. And one of these guys that will not be playing the match against us, he's a defender left, or he was playing that position. So he can be subbed by either this guy, Tabaré Silva, who's lacking match practice and not playing a lot for Deportivo, playing for the B team mostly. He looks pretty good, decent guy. Also, it could be this guy from, I guess, a Uruguayan or Argentinian club. I don't know. I don't care. He plays in Bella Vista. He also looks decent. But they're more like the same quality of players that I have. Or maybe not really, but it's a lot better than meeting Uruguay at full strength. Because already, before this happened, it was a team very much with their strength in the attacking half. It's not like Brazil and Argentina and so on, where they also have very good defenders and goalkeepers. Well, the goalkeeper here, I guess he's all right, but I'd rather have Danny Cohen, to be honest. So Montero, he usually plays this position. So it's these 2 guys, actually, that they won't be using in the next one. So they've got Sorondo and Thais selected that they can still use. I guess they will. And then for the other central defender position, they only have 2 choices, Hernandez or Alonso. Alonso is this guy, 22 years old, and he looks pretty good, actually. But he's not very tall, right? But he's fast, really fast. And I'm looking for those kind of things because I have 2 choices in the striking position. I have John Hartson, who's strong and big, and then I've got Robert Earnshaw, who's really fast. So I guess let's look at the other one. We've got Hernandez here. He has a 3 in jumping. And the same thing, he's really good at acceleration. This looks like a job for Hartson, right? The last guy, Sorondo, who also played the last match, he has 14. That's decent stats, but it's still, they're not like kings of the airspace. They don't rule the airspace in the defense, as far as I can tell. They've got this Thais guy. He's probably the tallest of them. judging from the jumping stat. Same over here, but not good heading. Because this was the time in football in Championship Manager where you couldn't tell how tall these players were. They only had the jumping stat and the heading stat. And I guess the other stats that are relevant when talking about winning headers in the defense or anywhere on the pitch really would be positioning and anticipation to make sure you were positioned correctly, and then stuff like probably strength and balance in order to push away any opposition players that might also want to win that header. Yeah, but I like my chances with this because they don't have Montero anymore. And if you look at the last match, they did win a lot of headers compared to France, but the one guy winning them in the defense was of course Montero, right? And this other guy won both air duels that he tried to win. But other than that, this doesn't look terrifying. So that's like a chink in their armor, and I like my chances in that regard, and will do my best to exploit that. And we played well in the last match, and as you saw, I was reluctant to substitute anyone. Helped morale a little bit. Jason Kumas, he can't get his arms down after this. Still, we've got Andy Johnson with lots of influence and very low morale. I don't know exactly what to do with that. I'm sort of tempted to let him play. Oh, now Simon Davies is out again, but it's still the 19th, so I'm thinking that might change. Tempted to let him play, but this guy scored the decisive goal in our last match and played well, so he deserves another go. And Lee Fowler also came off pretty decent. If you look at our last match statistics, Kumas was excellent, but I think these two guys, they played all right. If he had to play instead of any one of those, then it would be instead of Lee Fowler. But the same thing with the determination thing settles it. I would rather have him on the pitch from the beginning instead of coming on from the bench with determination like that. So when it's like 50-50, then I'll just leave him on the pitch. I was also considering adjusting the midfield to suit our needs, but they only have these two guys in the middle, right? So I can have the Lee Fowler over here dealing with De Los Santos and Matthew Jones over here, and then Kumas will play in the middle and actually have a bit of room and hopefully deal with any of these two if they come forward and start to pass the ball and stuff. I left the zonal instruction thing on Kumas, so he's still helping a bit with these two guys because they're really good. And I left the zonal marking instructions over here on my backs because these guys are really good. Jacques, I guess his name is, and Varela. Look at this. In Nuremberg. Alright, it actually doesn't look as good as I remember. But yeah, Carlos Jacques, yeah, right. That guy looks good. And especially De Los Santos and Oliveira, right? And then they've got, I think I was looking for someone else, but it doesn't matter. What I was saying was that the zonal marking, I'm still doing, I think I'll still be doing the zonal marking here. Gave it some thought. I remember doing that. But what did I end up doing? The marking. Right. I actually set those to man marking, Matthew Jones and Lee Fowler, just those two guys in the central midfield. And I'll make sure that the correct opposition players as soon as we begin. And then the same thing with Mumford and Simons. I'm pretty sure they're up for the task, right? Yeah, it seems like it. But let's see what it looks like when we get to the match. We're still on the 19th, because this is the day that we played the match. And tomorrow stuff is gonna happen in the other groups all over again, with the third match that will settle, well, why are they starting with, right, so for some reason they're starting with Group B. That will settle the group winners and runners up. And we've got this group first. Brazil, already on to the next round. Belarus, the European champions. Well, I think they should both be able to win this one. Belarus will have to take the win, will want to take the win, or at least a draw, because Morocco might beat Brazil because they've already advanced from this round, but they did not. So Chadel is he was already the top goal scorer before this match, so I guess, yeah, he's way ahead now with 5 goals, and number 2 has only scored twice. So Belarus managed to pick up this win. They did not disappoint. We've got Yurit Sigalko back in goal, and Saudi Arabia and Morocco, they'll have to return home, or maybe they'll opt to stay and just watch the rest of the matches. Group A, we've got Italy already advancing from this group, playing against USA. Well, that's interesting. And Portugal, who will want, and Ukraine as well. This is a pretty strong group, or has proven to be a pretty strong group, because USA, well, they've really impressed, haven't they? So who's good here anyway? Chris Gabandi. Never heard of this guy, but apparently he's shining at the World Cup. The other guys I know a little bit. And that was their win against Ukraine. Quite impressive. Ukraine being finalists in the European Championship. So Eddie Pope. Yeah, but not a lot of American goals, but let's, right, so Italy wins this one and Ukraine the other one. So, but it's not enough for Ukraine. They only have the 3 points. So USA advances to the next round, even with the loss, the defeat against Italy. So that's the first 2 groups. All right, updating game data. This might take a while, I don't remember actually. So, right. So I've just been rambling on since the beginning of this recording. I guess now would be a good time to think of something interesting to say while we're watching the game data update. Yeah. Maybe it's a good time to reflect upon the mortality of our lives. Being that this episode could very well be the last one, like I said. And if it is, and so be it, then I'll just click on in this episode and show you the rest of the World Cup. Right, so that went pretty quick, because we've already reached our goal, but I'm really hoping, now that I've noticed this weakness in the Uruguayan defense, I'm really hoping that could be the key to a tactical victory against them, because I sort of fancy myself having masterminded the tactical stuff in the last match, and well, successfully done that. Right, so we've got Cameroon and Germany. So it'll be interesting to see whether we will have an African team advancing, or maybe it'll just be Ireland picking up a win against Colombia and Germany winning as expected. Let's see. Right. So Ireland did not manage to pick up a win at all, which means good things for Cameroon, because that meant it was enough with the 4 points that they already had from the first two matches, and that was quite impressive. A 3-1 win against Colombia, and then where's it at? Right, the 0-0 result, the draw against Ireland. So Colombia and Ireland, bye-bye. Right. Central defender Bernd Wagner. All right. And different goal scorers there. So still got Chardel. 5 goals. Way ahead of all other forwards. Right. Group D. This is actually the group with, I guess, the team that won everyone over at this World Cup. No, I'm not talking real life. I'm talking this save. Egypt. I mean, with a first round win against Paraguay with this guy Vail Rayat. I actually remember this guy. I bought him once for a Danish team that I played with, a Danish team from the second division, and it must have been pretty late in that game because he's not cheap apparently. But yeah, he plays well, and they've got Mito, this guy, and of course Ibrahim Said playing for Chelsea. And then after that, they got 1-1 against Sweden in an even match. So now they can finish Holland in this match if they want to, if they have the quality. Or Holland can just get the 6 points. And if Paraguay beats Sweden, then Egypt would be in all kinds of trouble. And even if Sweden wins, they might still lose their advantage. But let's see. Right, so Egypt continues to impress with a goal by this guy. He looks pretty awesome, actually. And a clear victory, it seems, against a very mediocre Dutch side. And Paraguay, they actually end up beating the Swedes. So, right, that was really disappointing by Sweden, not with a single win, and Holland only managing 1 win, the one against Sweden. So, not so great for the European teams in that group. But Egypt, well, I guess they'll be having a lot of new fans with the way that they're performing at the moment. Right now, we can't really say the same. We've played a good match against Uruguay, but it's not like we're giant killers like they are now. So Group E with England and Denmark. I know that some of you guys who are watching these episodes are English, and I'm Danish. So this is our group, really. And Japan and Nigeria, well, we just want victories for these two teams, right? So Japan, no upset against Denmark, please, right? But they did. Super keeper effort from Sogahara means that, and England with a clear victory. Oh, Denmark and England, of course, are still progressing to the next round. And Japan with 6 points, well, they'll be sad about this result because it just wasn't enough. Just one more goal. And this would have had to be decided in some unclear way that I don't really know, but that was close. That was Group E. So now we're on to Group F. And as you might remember, we're Group G, so yeah, we're getting close. Group F with Argentina and Scotland and China, the only 3 out of 4 teams having gotten any points. So Ghana We'll probably lose this one against Argentina as well. And China and Scotland will have to fight for the place in the next round. So that's kind of interesting. Right. Let's see. Ooh, the Scottish do not disappoint this time around. Jamie McConney looks pretty good. Barry Ferguson and Stephen Thompson. Right. And goals from both of these guys that came on from the bench. Pretty cool. So Argentina and Scotland, as you would have expected in this group, are the two teams to advance to the next round. So, Group G, that's us. Now I should have brought a glass of water or something. I can sort of feel my throat getting a bit dry. But that's alright. Oh, Group H first. So, in Group H, we've got Mexico already cleared for the next round, and the Czech Republic will be facing them. And then South Korea and Romania, with only South Korea the small hope of, and they won't advance to the next round because Romania wins that one, and the Czech Republic picks up the other win to make them team number one here. Right. And now I've got the next match on the 24th. But first I just want to see the fixtures. No, actually the 23rd, same date, Friday. And I can't see that. Schedule, that's what I want to see. So I've got group stage here, and the second round starts on the 24th already. Wow. And the 25th, 6th, 7th. Right, those 4 dates. So assuming that because I'm playing this on the 23rd, which is pretty early, then I'm assuming that I'll get hopefully this date or that date, which would be alright, I guess. 3 or 4 days. 4 days is fine, but 3 days? Ooh, and I'm not even sure I'll get that date if I advance to the next round. So, but let's worry about that later. I don't want to change in the lineup just because of that. Because, well, I'll have to make those changes later. Right, so Simon Davies is not ready. Still. Right, so I'm gonna bring you again Andy Johnson and Hartson with very good morale. Okay. And Kumas, did I leave him with the zonal marking? Yeah, but no. Right, nothing else. And I did that because he actually played so well in the last round that I'm thinking that might be the difference, because normally I'd just have him more like an attacking midfielder and with no zonal responsibilities, no marking whatsoever. But that's the way I'm doing it now because he played so well. Right. It really bothered me the last time in our last match that that they rearranged their players in order to confuse mine. So I'm changing this back for the two midfielders. I think that'll be fine, and then with zonal in that direction, because they're running backwards. They've got the defensive responsibilities. That should be enough. So I just have to make sure Simons and Mumford are assigned to the right players. And then I think that should be it. 95, 94, that's Mumford, Delaney. Okay, they're not all there. Yep. I don't think I can do better than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the match. And this might be the last one. So weird. But we're gonna go out like dragons. This is the way they line up, with, of course, Forlan and Correa. Right. Rivera and De Los Santos. Right. This guy looks pretty good. And they're playing attacking, short, and offside trap. Yeah. They're not afraid of us. And in the defense, they've got this guy. Defender right. And this guy on the left side. One with good condition and great finishing. Wow. I'm glad he's all the way in the left back position. And then besides Alonso, they've got this Hernandez guy with jumping 3. 31 years old. He has great crossing and acceleration and stuff. But I'm not sure that he'd make the Welsh national team if he was a Welshman. Probably he would though, but not sure, like I said. Forlan and Correa. Right. So I'm just gonna have to go in here and look at Mumford first. Number 9, that's correct. And Simons, that's correct. Good. What if these guys were assigned to man? Would that then Matthew Jones would find number 6, and Fowler would find number 8. Those guys are number 6 and 8. So that would be cool. That would be nice enough. So Oliveira runs forward. He's not fast. He has long shots and stuff and dribbling. De Los Santos, not fast either. So Matthew Jones. He's a lot faster. Not much else. Agility, stamina, stuff like that. And then Fowler. I'm gonna set these guys to man marking anyway, because I really want those guys closed down. And then I'm just gonna have to check all the time. I'm sorry for that, guys. But I'm gonna have to check whether they're still positioned like that. So it's 6, 8, 9, 10. 6, 8, 9, 10. 6, 8, 9, 10. Right. I think I can remember that. Kickoff at Ludwigspark Stadion. Here we go. I don't like it. Medium speed. Could be the last match. And then I'm gonna check. That's 10 minutes played. Oh, Twitty. Our one creative player. Oh, damn. That was a cool chance. So 6, 8, 9, 10. It didn't change anything so far. Oh. Fine, white. Oof. 6, 8, 9, 10. It's almost like a mantra. Oh. Varela all the time. Oh, I have to remember to check. 6, 8, 9, 10. We're winning the headers. No. Damn it. Diego Forlan. Well, he's a good forward. Hopefully we'll be able to... yes. That's really important. Same minute. We hit them back immediately. That was cool. That was really cool. So, ooh. No. I think we're doing fine at the moment. He never scores. So, that's not so bad. Uruguay stats. See, they've got no one really impressing in the airspace, but we've got Hartson. He's winning a few headers. It's not really impressive though, but he should be with the strength and jumping and so on. Just checking for small injuries. Nope. David Vaughan, sort of not really playing like we'd hoped, like he did in the last match, where didn't he? I think he got the man of the match award, as far as I remember. Good. So it's 1-1. Oh, and latest scores, we've got France beating Costa Rica, of course, but it looks like this. So 1-1 and a draw against Uruguay is not enough because of the goals. Yeah, so we're gonna have to grab the win, as I expected. Right now, just gonna have to look closely at this. I might want to... I don't know about Matthew Jones. To me, he looks like he's the one not really working out, but it's pretty close between those guys. And Lee Fowler, he's winning. For some reason, he's winning headers. It's because he's strong. He's really strong. Matthew Jones, he's not really doing anything. Winning a couple of tackles. But I'm gonna keep him on just because I've got this one guy who's a good substitute for the central midfield, and I've got three midfielders, three central midfielders. So I don't want to use that substitution too early. So I'm gonna keep playing. Whew. Thought he was gonna. Oh. Thought he was gonna score again. With this, that would have been the same two goal scorers. That would have been cool. But still, any Welsh goal scorer will do. Just want some goals for Wales now. Not any goals from Korea. All right. Bond with a cross, a chip, and Hearts. No, Matthew Jones. It's beginning to get exciting now. Come on. Right, with the cross. Damn. Yes. Still in possession. Right. So they've got an attack. Oh, Mumford. With a potential foot injury. That's no good. I'm gonna substitute him as soon as possible. So hope that guy just shoots it out across the line by mistake or something like that. Slips and falls over his own feet. Something. Yeah, right? So Twitty. Long? No, not a good idea. If you're a creative guy like Twitty. Yeah, right. He's injured. That injury. Damn. That means he's out for the duration, probably, of the World Cup, which of course might be a very short while for us if we don't grab this win. So Matthew Bound from Gillingham, 33 years old, 2 caps. Well, he should be able to win the headers. And I guess that's okay. So let's return to the match. I still have to make sure. 6, 8, 9, 10. Forgot about that a little bit. I think Matthew Jones is. I just noticed his name a couple of times, and also he said shot on goal. So maybe he's playing better than he was. Kumas is playing really well. Hartson has a potential foot injury, so settles it. So I'm gonna also get him off the pitch, and then have Robert Earnshaw come on for his debut. Right, so maybe Giggs. Who's gonna be the captain? Influence. 32 years old. But he's a goalkeeper. I'd rather have someone else, and he's only 23. This guy is old enough, but not really with the influence. This guy has lots of influence, but not the teamwork and work rate, and he's not very old. 23 years old, Lee Fowler. He might be a future captain, but not right now. Kumas, right. And we've got Bound with influence 18. Good teamwork and work rate, but only 2 caps. Hate this. But good morale. Who were the other ones again? I forget. Cohen, Giggs. Also good morale here. Giggs with 63 caps, 32 years old. Great teamwork and work rate. And he's just a star player. He just has to have the captaincy. That's just how it is. Yeah. That's how it is. So Earnshaw. And it wasn't Hartson's best match ever, so probably not a great loss at this point of this match. 2 new players coming on. Uruguay, not having spent any of their substitution, but that happens now. That's one guy substituted. That was number 6. Did they change anything now? It's just number 17 instead of number 6, so I guess Matthew Jones, yes, right. He knows. Yeah, that's what it's, so it is. Magallanes, really fast guy. Okay. Whoa. No. That's right. Good. That was the guy who just came on. No. Yes. Right. Just want to check because the match is almost over. So maybe I want to use one of my, still very low morale. And is he fast? Yeah, he's pretty fast actually. So I could bring him on instead of that Jones guy. It's not because he has great off the ball that he shows up all the time. Not all the time, but he's had a few chances at goal right in this Lee Fowler person hasn't, but he's playing well. And Leaf and Fowler, he doesn't have great determination, but Chris Twitty, not really impressing with the passes this time. He's had a few runs and also some offsides. So there's also David Pipe. What am I gonna do? I'm looking for the goals. I'm not gonna substitute Twitty because he's still very great, but I don't know. Mark Delaney just isn't playing very well. I know that it looks like David Vaughan isn't because he has 6 here, but he's making interceptions. He's not having success with the crosses or passes, but that's probably because he's trying. I don't know. Delaney, not so much. So maybe I should bring on Darren Brace, but he's not the greatest substitute, but he is a manager though. I don't know if you guys saw that episode where I explained that. He's a player manager, so I can actually bring, or I have brought a second manager to the squad. Will that confuse things? I don't know. He has excellent captaincy abilities as well, so probably not though. I know I'm taking forever about this, but I really don't want to rush it. Because I'm sort of feeling this could be an important decision. Johnson. Yeah, I'm going to bring on Johnson instead of Jones. And then we need, right, a very slow tempo for the last bit. Could be the last bit of the World Cup for us. Giggs. Oh! Yes! That's what I said. That's why I didn't substitute Twitty. Yes. Runs from midfield, no one picking them up. I told you guys when I talked about the tactics, I really would like this to be a tactical triumph. But that just requires them to not score any goals right now. No, Forland, no, don't do that. A header. How? Right. Good, Simons. They should be able to prevent any headers at this point. No. Yeah, just spend your time substituting Barella. And that, my friends, is the relief coming from the sound of the final whistle. So in front of 62,701 spectators, hopefully a lot of Welsh fans among them, we actually managed to defeat Uruguay. And that is the upset that I came here for. I mean, this was cool. Kit Simons and Jason Kumas with impressive performances. And Chris Twitty and Ryan Giggs as well. Matthew Bound. Really like that, seeing him come on to win all these headers and play well, because he might very well have to take this starting position from Mumford in the next match. And the other substitute also did well. So that's it. And France wins 3-1 against Costa Rica, just like we did. And we're on to the next round. Second place in Group G. That was awesome. So, yes, the FA are delighted. We've qualified, and the second round draw. Right. So I'm hoping not Brazil or Italy or something like that. Right. I'm gonna need you guys to also cross your fingers right now, and then I'll click. Czech Republic. So it could have been a lot worse. The Czech Republic, they've got this guy suspended. I might also have someone suspended. I didn't notice if that is the case, but I might. Oh, they've got Czech. That's gonna be tough. And also Jan Koller, Milan Barros, but we won't have to worry about him in the next match. So I just want to see their matches. They played 2-0 against Romania in a very similar formation to the one we just played against. 0-0 against South Korea. Okay. And right. And then a 1-0 win against Mexico. You know what? I'm not really scared. Not the way that I was before taking a closer look at Uruguay, which made me feel there was a glimmer of hope, or like a realistic hope. But right now we're on to the next round. The fixture is gonna be on the 25th. Oh crap. So we only have 2 days, which means that we're gonna be in trouble. So the Czech Republic, they played their last match also on the 23rd. So that's great. So hopefully they'll have an equal amount of trouble. Or be equally tired, their players. Right. So I'm hoping a lot of these will return to full health. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that a lot of these guys actually have great stamina. Yeah, see this? This is the whole first page, and it's stamina 20 to 17. Yeah, so probably Kit Simons is going to be the problem. He's 35, so I'm going to have a problem in the central defense. And the injury? A month. Okay. That means bound will be wearing the number 5 jersey. Darren Jones. He might even have to play from kickoff. But let's see what happens. Kid Simons might get back in shape, but also if he's not in full fitness, or whatever the term is, then of course he'll have to be the substitute instead of Darren Jones. But let's worry about that a little bit later. Right now, the World Cup, and well, we're all set for the second stage, but we didn't really take a look at that, did we? So let's see. Yeah, and I know I'm just taking this. I'm still a bit taken aback with the end of that last match. So I might want to just sit and dwell on that for a second. We've got Italy facing off against Belarus. Egypt against Cameroon, right? Interesting. 2 African teams. Denmark versus Scotland. The Czech Republic against us. Brazil against the USA. Germany against Paraguay. Oh, Argentina versus England. And France versus Mexico. I'm thinking that this is the only of these matches where potential World Cup winners are facing off against each other already in the second round. I don't consider Paraguay one of those. So, but maybe Italy and Belarus is also equally. Well, these guys are pretty good. I mean, what is up with those formations? Look at the formations, the positions, sorry, not the formations, the playing positions of all these guys. They can all play like anything. They'd be able to play like total football, but it's not Cruyff managing them. But I mean, they can just swap around if they have trouble, and they don't. They don't have any trouble with suspensions or fitness or anything. They had the first round red card for Yoid Segalko, but they've got him back now. And they've got a really good team. So they might be able to actually beat the Italians. But Italy was the eventual winners of the actual 2006 World Cup. So let's not write off their chances just now. Right. And I'm going to stop here, because I think that watching the next match will be a cool lead up to our game, just like it was in this episode. And this episode is already, almost 55 minutes long? So let's just quit while we're ahead. Literally. I mean, did you guys see this match? This was awesome. And we've got Jason Kumas of West Bromwich Albion fame. And he's not even one of their stars. I mean, he's worth 4 mil and earns 55,000 a week and is lighting up the World Cup. And he might even be number 2 on. I don't think he is, because a lot more matches has been played. But let's just check the goal scorer list. Right, number 3 on the list of goal scorers. So Thierry Henry has also scored a couple more goals. But that's pretty cool, though. A hat-trick in your head, Jason. Good. That's enough for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you'll be able to find the next episode whenever I publish that one. In the meantime, you can check the because I found out how to do the cards on the end of these videos. So you guys should be able to click like on the full playlist if you want to see it from the beginning, or squad selection where I tell you a lot about the individual players, or just subscribe to the channel, or click the like button. Why don't you? Because, well, what's not to like about this episode, right? So, see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for now.